Hello and welcome to On Track in 6. It's so good to have you here investing in yourself. It's an honor for me to coach you and I'm very much invested in your success. The goal of this program is for you to be completely facilitated to make the changes you want to maintain for good so you feel on track with your health and fitness and then you stay on track for the rest of your life. So to start with, I'm going to talk a little bit about mindset because this is quite important. I know that it's not easy to embark on yet another attempt at fat loss, and I think that it's very natural for you to question whether this will actually work. I imagine that your experience of past attempts is probably evidence that this won't work, or if it does, only for a certain amount of time. But actually this time it will be different, and that's because we're going to tackle this from the psychological, the mindset approach, and from the practical approach. So psychologically, I want you to challenge your mindset around how you approach diet and exercise. I want you to stop resenting it and start embracing it. I want you to find solutions instead of getting stuck. I want you to stop aiming for being perfect, and I want you to start just doing something. Your mindset is going to be key to your success. And then on a practical level, you're going to figure out a way of carving diet and exercise into your current life. With diets you've tried before, it's likely you've been asked to make changes, to eat in certain ways and do certain things that maybe don't feel natural or normal for you. I want you to only adjust the things you want to adjust and that you would be happy to do so for the rest of your life. And that's how this is different and long-term. Life is going to throw things at us over the next 6 weeks and for the rest of our lives, but that is real life. And learning to stay on track despite life's challenges is the absolute key. I want you to be fully in on this journey because you want to. Dieting and exercise are not things that we have to do. They are things we get to do. And it's the highest form of self-care you can do. So be optimistic and positive. Find alternatives. Be flexible. Believe in yourself. This is only 6 weeks long, but it is not a quick fix. We are here to make long-term changes. Get on board with doing more than nothing. Focus on your progress, not on being perfect. The way you journey this is completely individual, and it is imperative that what you do is tailored entirely to fit in with your life. The hard part of all of this is not that you don't know what to do. You know what to do. It's that you haven't found a way of doing it that you can keep doing long term. And this program is designed to facilitate you in figuring that out. Note that I said facilitate rather than tell you. That's because this journey is individual to you and owning it is very important. I'm here to support you, but you are going to do the work. And once all the hype of starting the program dies down, it will be down to you to make the choices to say no to the extra chocolate fingers or to wake up and do a workout first thing or go for a walk in the rain. So how do you get the most value out of this coaching? Well, it's simply that you take action, and the more action you take, the more value you'll get. So I want you to commit fully to participating in this program. Fill out your tracker. Do your check-in forms every single week. These are so important for reflecting on your progress. Turn up to the group calls, engage and participate in the WhatsApp group. These are the things that work and are crucial to your success. This is how you get coached and supported on your journey. And if you don't take action, then you won't be able to access all the value there is on this program. In the next section, I'm going to go into the specifics of the program, including nutrition, training, your activity targets, habits, and coaching support. Each of these play a vital role in your journey, and I will guide you through what you can expect. The first thing that we're going to look at is nutrition, and we're looking at nutrition first because if you did nothing else and you just focused on nutrition, you would lose weight. And that is because fat loss comes from an energy deficit. So that means you are consuming less calories than your body needs. And therefore, in order to get that energy, it takes it from fat stores, and so we lose fat. When we are looking at nutrition, there are 3 main things that we want to focus on. The first thing is how many calories we're consuming. The second thing is protein. That's the most important macronutrient for fat loss. That's because of its benefits First of all, it makes us feel fuller, and so it makes creating an energy deficit easier to maintain. But secondly, it has huge benefits for muscle growth, muscle retention, and it has a hormone balance aspect to it as well. And then the last thing is the structure of our day of eating. So how we eat and when we eat during the day, and how that can help us with our fat loss journey. So those are the three main things we want to worry about and think about. So if you look at my list here, I will give you a calorie range, and it's important that that's a range, because if I gave you a calorie target and you went over it, you might think, oh, I failed. But really, this is all we're estimating here. We don't really know exactly how many calories you're taking in. Everyone's a little bit different in how many calories you take from specific foods. So it's all very estimatey, and that's fine. We don't need it to be precise. We just need a rough estimate to work with. So that's why we give you a range. And then you just need to stick within that range, and therefore you will lose weight if you do. Then we need to look at protein, and here you have been given a target, a minimum. Everyone has the same. The minimum is 80 grams. The optimum is 100 grams. And I really want you to be aiming for that 100 grams, but I understand that it can be hard to get that in. And so 80 grams is okay. 100 grams is optimum. And if you get more than that, 120, that is like brilliant. It's good. So you don't want to be aiming for 100 grams and then going over and going, oh no, I went over. No, you want to aim as high as you can. The more protein you get in, the better. We'll talk about where you can get your protein from at another point. So you've got your calorie range, you've got your protein target, and then we're talking about carbs and fat. So that's the other two macronutrients, and it doesn't matter how you split the rest of your calories after protein between carbs and fats. Yes, you want to be taking on board some healthy fats, but you are likely going to do that anyway with the foods that you are choosing to eat. So we're not too worried about that. But certainly if you are thinking about it, oily fish, olive oil in itself is a great source of a good fat. Avocados, anything like that, good fat sources. With the next point there, flexibility, that's talking about how you have your calorie range per day. But if you want, you can go lower during the week and then have more calories banked at the weekend. That sometimes, particularly, I find at the weekend I want to relax a little bit more, have more treats, whereas during the week I find it easier with my structure of the days to keep to a stricter calorie target. So you can do that. It's very much an average across the week, but I would say don't restrict so much during the week and then give yourself loads at the weekend. That's going to have a bad impact on the restrictions, going to make you want to overeat, etc., and it's not going to be good. So stay vaguely within the range, but yeah, the lower end maybe during the week, and then at the weekend upper end, that can work just fine. And then treats. So I think that treats are very important as part of a fat loss journey. If we are restricting all the foods that we enjoy, then we start to feel a little bit resentful about the diet, and it can make us feel negative. It also can lead to cravings. If we're not giving ourselves permission to have the foods that we like, we think about them a lot more. So I do think that, I think it's very important to build that in amongst your calories. Your calories are your calories, and you can use them as you wish, as long as you're hitting your protein target. And I really want you to find a way of getting the foods that you normally eat and you normally enjoy into that. You don't need to do a rehaul of your diet. You don't need to go to the shops and buy all this new stuff. You don't even need to buy in new protein products, although they can be quite helpful sometimes to get your protein target. You just need to think, right, what do I eat currently, and what does that look like, and how can I then add things in, or give yourself bigger quantities of the protein that you already eat. How can you do that to make that work for this? So that's nutrition. Of course, you'll have questions. You'll want to have suggestions for protein for sure. What happens if you go over your calories, for example? And there's all these questions that might come up. But that's what the coaching's for, okay? So we'll have the group and you can ask your questions and put your struggles in and we'll work through that. And that's what this program is all about. So let's talk about exercise next. Now, as we've said already, with fat loss, what we're trying to create is an energy deficit. So you are expending more energy than you are consuming. And another way we can approach this is by burning calories through exercise. Now, I will say that exercise itself has a very, very minimal impact on your calorie burn. If you are going to do a workout, and particularly the workouts that you are going to do in this group, they are very short. And if you think about a 24-hour day, you might do a 15-minute workout. Yes, you're going to burn some calories, but it's not going to be significant. So really, exercise, while we often think about, I need to exercise more to lose fat, that is actually not true. Exercise itself has a very small effect in terms of creating a higher deficit. What it does do though, is it boosts our mood, it makes us feel good about ourselves, it builds our confidence, it gives us more energy, and all these things help us stay on track. So it is completely crucial, but not in terms of calorie burn. It is crucial in terms of keeping us mentally in this game and strong and resilient so that we can keep going, because fat loss journey is not so much about doing, the specifics of the calories, etc. It's how we can create this so you stay in the game, and exercise plays a huge role in that. So in this program, you are going to have options for exercise. I have given you what I think will be a good exercise plan for you according to what you've told me on your onboarding form, but you will have access to all the programs and all the different workouts, so you can actually pick and choose and design your own if you so wish. So I will just quickly go through them. You've got the home short Metcons. Metcon stands for metabolic conditioning, but basically it just means that you're moving fast with weights. And I love these workouts. If you follow my Instagram page, that's what I do daily. I do them. And I find it so efficient. It gets your heart rate up and it gets you strong at the same time. So I love these workouts, and they're great for if you're busy and you've not got that much time and you just want to get a workout in. They're very efficient for that. I will say though, if you're doing short Metcon type workouts, you should do them more frequently. So it's not if you do them 3 times a week, yeah, okay, you'll see some improvements, but you'll see better results for doing these shorter workouts more frequently during your week. And you'll get plenty of recovery because they're very short. I have added a very new programming called Living Room Strength. And this was because I had a one-to-one client who said to me, I can't exercise. I never have motivation to exercise. What I need is something that I can do in front of the telly without even changing into workout clothes. And I thought, yeah, that's great to have that, because remember, we are here for more than nothing. So I love this program. It's called Living Room Strength, and it is basically, you do it in your living room. You don't need to change into workout clothes. You are not going to get sweaty. You just need your dumbbells in the living room. You can keep the TV on. There's no video to follow or anything like that. You are just going to have 2 supersets. So that means you're going to do 2 or 3 movements for 3 rounds, have a little rest, and then you're going to have 2 or 3 movements for 3 rounds. And you're just going to cycle through them. Really simple, still getting you really strong. Again, these are very, very short, so I would prefer that you do them more frequently if you're going to go for that option. Then we have Home Strength. This is my program. It's got a follow along video. They take half an hour. They're really good. Like, they're going to get you really strong, particularly if you've got the right dumbbell. Although even if you've got 2 light dumbbells, you can just do more reps. So yeah, this is pretty much like if you want to get strong and that's your main goal, I would recommend going for the Home Strength as your option. And then we've got Gym Strength. Now, most of you who are here are not gym goers, but if that is something that you want to do and you want to go to the gym, there is this option, and that will use the gym machines, which can be very helpful, particularly if you're starting off with strength. You just sit on the machine and push the weights. So there is that option. And then I've talked already about how you can chop and change. So I'll tell you what I think you should do, but you can chop and change. Now, for some of you, you're going to have a mixture of strength and metcons, and so for that you'll have 2 strength sessions, and then you'll do a workout as one of your other sessions, and then the other, some of you prefer longer sessions but done less frequently. So instead of having 5 workouts that are very short, you would have 3 workouts with a strength element at the beginning and a workout at the end. And so there's just ways we can do it. Now, I just want you to know that whatever you do is good. So there's no optimum. There's no, this is the best way to do it. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing something. Yes, of course, we know it's good to get your heart rate up. Yes, we know it's good to lift weights, and that is all great. It's all great. So do what you can, do what you want to do, try different things, find something that works for you, find something that fits in your life and that you're happy to do forever. So plan your week with exercise, plan out when you're going to do it, and then just do it. And you will not going to feel like doing it. You may feel like doing it on the first day, but a lot of the time you're not going to feel like doing it. And that's when you have to just go, no, this is what I'm doing. And once you start, it's fine. It's just the initial bit. So plan out your week. Remember that we are not relying on motivation. Motivation is not something that is there all the time. It's very reliable. We are here to take action, and we take action even when we don't feel like it. Okay, next is activity levels. And really this is in reference to steps, because that's how we can measure how active you are. So I wear a Fitbit myself, which I like. It tells me how many steps I've done a day. It's quite a generous Fitbit actually, and I play the violin, and when I play the violin I get loads of steps, and the piano as well. And when I'm doing the housework, I get more steps than I actually do, so that's great. But I don't mind because it's still activity, so I feel like it is measuring my activity. But anyway, the thing about steps is that everyone knows that 10,000 steps is the magic number, and that is actually not true. It's a great number. I like it because it's just 10,000 steps, get your 10,000 steps in, and it is a really good. 10,000 steps is about 200 to 300 calories, and so it can make a huge impact on your calorie deficit, way more than exercise. It is so important. If you don't walk 10,000 steps a day, that is fine, but you will have to eat a lot less in order to make the progress that you want to make. So steps is this sort of thing that we can control that can make this process work for us. It is not a big deal to go out for a walk. It might be a big deal if I say go for a 5K run, but to go for even a 5K walk isn't such a big deal. So it's something that you can do every single day. And if we can do something every single day, after a few weeks and months, we're going to see huge progress. So walking and steps are so important. You will have quite a range as your target. It is around the 10,000 step mark for most of you. That will work, and that will be fine. But this is an average, and if you are someone who does not move during the day, doesn't have a chance to do that, you might want to try your best. And then when you can, at the weekend, when you're not working, go for a longer walk and kind of get your weekly average up, and that is fine. So you can be flexible with how you get those steps, but you need to make the effort to do it. And you have to be thinking, okay, I actually need to go out for an extra walk tonight to get my steps in. It's something that is so important to this working, really important. So I always recommend going for at least one intentional walk a day, and that will keep your steps up for sure. But there's loads of ways that you can increase your steps, like, you know, those classic use the steps, not the lift, or park your car very far away. And it's actually true, if you do these little things, all the way through your day. And yeah, you've got to do them. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the morning routine. Now, you know that diet and exercise is what you do to lose fat, but you are here because diet and exercise hasn't worked for you, and it hasn't worked for you because we haven't created a way of sticking to that diet and exercise long term. And how we do that is we think about everything and your capacity during the day and your structuring of the day. And a morning routine is a tool that really, really helps you stay on track. So what you're going to do is 3 things. The first thing is you're going to do movement. The second thing is you're going to hydrate. So you're going to drink a glass of water. And the third thing you're going to do is you are going to just have a few thoughts. This is not journaling. We're just going to think things through. So with the movement, I've given you a very short 2-round cycle of some movements. The first thing you're going to do is 5 air squats, then you're going to do 5 push-ups, and then you're going to do 10 shoulder taps. And if you do that every single day, I can tell you your push-ups are going to be really, really good at the end of the 6 weeks. So I very much challenge you to stick to that daily movement. The second thing with the hydration, obviously you just had a whole night's sleep, so it's a really good thing to have a glass of water in the morning. However, I am asking you to weigh yourself every day. So weigh yourself before you have your glass of water. And then the third thing is the affirmations and your positive mindset. And all you're going to do is just sit with a cup of tea and you are going to say to yourself, positivity is a choice and I am going to choose to be positive today. And it's just such a simple statement, but it sets the tone for your day. If you've got a better affirmation, use it. But that's the one I'm giving you. And then the next thing I want you to think about is, what are you going to do today that your future self is going to thank you for? And just do it in your head. What are you going to do? What actions are you going to take that your future self is going to thank you for? And then the last thing is, what are you going to do for others that are going to leave them better off than when you found them? Because doing action for other people can also build into our feeling of positivity, and it can be as simple as just, and since we're talking about routines, I'm also going to get you to do an evening routine, and that is just journaling every evening. And this is important for the same reasons that the morning routine is important. It just allows a time for you to sit and reflect and plan and really work on your mindset. We're talking a lot about mindset, but talking about it isn't actioning any changes. What is going to change your mindset is reflection and working on your mindset. And the journaling gives you that opportunity to work on your mindset. So there is a structure to the journal, and I will be giving that to you. Really, it's just 4 things that you're going to do. There's the first bit of the journal where you are going to reflect on your day. What did you do today? What did you achieve today? What could you have done better? What did you learn? What negative thoughts did you have, and how can you reframe them to be more positive? Was your day in line with your values, and did you do your best? So it's those kind of prompts that just allow you to think about your day. You can write loads, or you can just write a little bit, it's no problem, but it just gives you that opportunity to reflect on your day. And also just think about how you approached different situations and how you could maybe make those better in the future. Then you're going to have your daily accountability. This is really just, you don't actually have to do this because you're going to put this on the tracker, but it's nice. I like to put down, my steps and my calories and protein, and did I do a workout or was it a rest day? And then I also like to write down a score for my mood and energy out of 10. So was I in a good mood, or did I feel good energy? And then you're going to plan your day tomorrow, just in terms of what did you learn that you can implement in tomorrow? Are there any negative things that happen that you can reframe into a positive for tomorrow? And one thing that you can do tomorrow that your future self will thank you for. And that can just link in nicely with the morning routine. And then finally, I'd like you to just dump everything out of your mind onto the page. So anything that's on your mind, just get it out. And this is really going to affect your sleep, and sleep is important for fat loss. So this is quite an important part of it as well. And so that's it. So you just write all that up nice and quickly or slowly, however you want. And that is your journaling evening routine. Now we're going to talk about measuring progress. So measuring progress is an important part for fat loss, because if we don't know where we're at and we can't see how we're progressing, we cannot make the adjustments to what you are doing. So for me, as your coach, I find it very useful to have as many different ways of measuring your progress as possible, and it will be very useful for you to have that as well, to feed into your motivation to push forward. So we're going to take photos. You're going to have your photo of your front, side and back, nice white backdrop or neutral backdrop, just so it's really obvious whenever we take photos again that we can see the progress in how you look. I also want you to take a photo or choose a photo from your camera roll that reflects where you are at right now in life. I think that's quite a fun thing to do. Oh, this photo of me makes that, yeah, this is me in situation. And then we're going to choose one at the end, just for fun, to see the progress in just normal living. And then I want you to take measurements. I don't give huge, you don't need to worry about exactly how you measure it, as long as you're doing it roughly the same both times. Hips, waist, thigh and arm is where you're going to take your measurements. And then the big one is the scale weight. Now, scale weight can be an issue for some people, particularly you've had this relationship with the scales where if you see the scale weight, it makes you feel negative and sort of takes away your motivation to keep pushing. So you can end up having these sort of highs and lows in emotions around the scale weight. I recommend weighing yourself every single day, because it allows you to learn how the scale weight goes up and down, so you can see how it moves up around different times of the month. You can see how it moves up if you have certain dinners. You can just see how it moves up around, travel or events. It changes all the time, and it's always impacted by things that are going on in your life. So I really want you to think about how weighing yourself every day is an education. You're learning, and that's the reframe that I need you to put on scale weight. And then I would really recommend that you weigh yourself every day and pop it into your tracker, and that way we can get a very clear idea of whether you are in a calorie deficit. Obviously we won't know straight away, it takes a while to see that, a few weeks, but it just gives us that feedback is a bit objective as well. And we will take the lowest weight of your week, so not the average weight, the lowest weight, and we'll use that to see your progress as you go through the 6 weeks. And then the last bit of progress is going to be your weekly wins and struggles. This will go on in the group chat, and we'll have a day where you pop down your wins, and we'll have a day where you put down your struggles. Of course, you can share your wins and struggles anytime, but we'll have a particular day where I ask you to put that in. And we're really looking at how you make progress with those as well. The next part of what we're talking about are the check-ins. Now you're going to fill out your daily tracker with all the things that you're doing. I'll be able to see that. But in addition to that, you have a check-in form to fill out every week. So you're going to be sent that on a Saturday. You need to complete it by Sunday, and then you're going to get your individual feedback on Monday on weeks 2, 4, and 6. Now on weeks 1, 3, and 5, you're still going to get your check-in form and you're still going to complete it, but you will not receive your individual feedback because we're going to have a group call, and you'll get feedback as a group on those weeks. So every other week you'll get individual feedback, and on the other week you'll get a group call, but every single week you'll fill out the check-in form. Now the check-in form is not for me. It is helpful for me when I'm giving you feedback, but I also have your daily tracker, so I have an idea. But it is really mainly for you. First of all, to keep you in the game, but second of all, to give you this opportunity to reflect on your week and how it's going, and really sort of think about your progress. So it's crucial to fill those in. So fill in your check-in forms. The next thing that you can do is reach out to me on WhatsApp. So this is a group program, and as a group program, you have access to me in the group, and all you need to do is tag me and say your message, and I will respond to you. So you have your daily tracker, you've got individual feedback, you've got group calls, and you have access to me in your WhatsApp group. And that is your coaching. So make use of it. Reach out and participate and do the things you need to do, because if you do, you're going to see success. So I really, really encourage you to really fully embrace this whole program and all the ways that you can reach out for coaching. That brings us to the end of the welcome video. I'm so excited to get you started. All you need to do now is get started. Tomorrow is the starting day. You're going to wake up, you're going to do your morning routine, you're going to keep an eye on your food, tracking. Most of you are going to track tomorrow to check how many calories are in your food, how much protein is in your food, and to learn from that. You're going to do a workout perhaps, but tomorrow is the start. We will meet on Thursday. That is going to be our first group call at 8 p.m. and the link is going to go into the WhatsApp group. And then it's just go, go, go for 6 weeks. I'm there to support you, answer questions, anything at all, put it in the group chat. And yes, so this last slide has this reminder. It's a very obvious reminder, but it says that the effort that you put into this journey is going to directly reflect on the results you get out. And if you want results, and I think that you do because you have invested in this program and you have invested in coaching, you need to remember that it is your effort that is going to create those results. And so I really, really encourage you to do all the things that you need to do. Fill out your tracker, do your check-ins, turn up to the group calls, because if you do, you're going to get insane results, and I am excited to see them. Good luck.